Oh, I love chocolate. Today we are going to do a chocolate cake together. If you have the chance to use a chocolate block like this one, like the bakers or the chef use in a restaurant, don't use those expensive knives to chip the chocolate. I use the oyster knife. And then take a big chunk of it. And when you have enough chocolate for your chocolate mousse, you take the chocolate and you have to melt the chocolate over bain-marie. See, bain-marie or double boiler, it's a casserole, and you have to have a bowl who fit well into the casserole, and some water, simmer, and you melt the chocolate. And when the chocolate is melted, you have to take the chocolate away from the bain-marie. Okay, now you have to work on the cake. To make the cake, we need some sponge cake, or genoise in French. Okay, we need a mold in the shape of a dome, like a ball. And we have to butter the ball with some creamy butter. Use lots of butter. Make sure the cake won't stick to the pan, otherwise it will be a disaster. And then you have to flour the cake. Tap the mold to remove the excess of flour. Now we're going to do the genoise batter. 4 eggs inside of the machine. 1 pinch of salt that brings up the flavors. 4 ounces of sugar. Now you have to whip the eggs. Okay, for about 5 minutes until they're light and fluffy and triple in the volume. Alright, I think it's fluffy. Okay, you have to remove the whip. You have to remove the mousse of the genoise to a different bowl. You add sifted flour, go all the way to the bottom. Here we are, mix well on the side. Okay, the bowl is ready. You have to fill the bowl. Oh, it looks great. I think my oven is at 350 degrees, and we are going to cook the cake for 35 minutes. Here we are. I think it's ready. Let me touch the cake. Perfect. And then you have to check with that little toothpick. I think the toothpick is completely dry. I mean, the cake is cooked, it's baked. Now you have to unmold it. Here we are. Perfect. Now you have to wait 2 to 3 hours until the cake is completely cold. Okay, now I'm doing the whipped cream. I whip the whipped cream over ice to make sure it stays cold, because if the whipped cream gets warm, it will be impossible to whip it. Okay? Instead, I'm doing the French style. I use the 8. I'm doing like an 8 number. It goes faster with the cream. And don't over whip the cream. Okay, it's enough. See? And here we have the chocolate. It's warm. You add half of the cream first, and you mix it. See? You mix half of it, and then you have to add the remaining of the whipped cream. Don't be afraid, but just mix it. Well, here we have the cake. It's cold now. And we're going to cut in 3 layers. See? Hold the cake and turn the cake. This way is a fabulous way. Cut it straight. Gosh, it's great, huh? I'm a good chef. My mother is proud of me. And you have to turn the cake here because remove that crust. That crust is too hard. You won't be able to soak it if you leave the crust. The one thing you have to prep the orange juice, and we have to add the sugar. And you know, one thing is good is to add some Grand Marnier. You know, as much as you want. And then you take your brush and you soak it well. I lay the bowl with some saran wrap. This will be easier to remove the cake when it's cold. Now we're going to add some chocolate mousse. Some raspberry, because it's great raspberry. As much as you want. And then the second layer. And you push it down. And you soak again. But sometimes you feel like you would go like this. And then the remaining of the mousse. Okay? Here we are. And the raspberry. Alright? The last slice of sponge cake. And we soak it again. And you close the cake with a plastic. Push it down a little bit. Pressure. And you have to cool the cake for a few hours before you finish it. Here we are, the cake is cold. At first you have to unwrap the paper. You have to remove the paper around to make sure it'll be easier to remove it from the mold. What you do, lift it, and now we're going to prepare the chocolate wrapping. To do that, we need some space here on the marble, and you have to some water on the marble to make sure that the plastic will stick to the marble. Here, the plastic wrap. And we'll spread some chocolate over the plastic. And with your spoon, spread the chocolate around and stay in the plastic. Look. Bring the mold back and take the chocolate over the mold and push the chocolate cake inside. And now you have to take the plastic careful. Here we are. Alright, now we are going to do some lemon leaf. We're going to dip them in the chocolate. First we did clean them and dry them. We're going to dip the chocolate on the shiny side. 5 or 6 for the decoration of the cake. We are going to cool the cake and the leaf until the chocolate is set to be able to finish the decoration. Here is now the fun part of the cake. You have to remove the plastic. Okay? Careful when you remove the plastic. Make sure you're not breaking the chocolate. Add some cocoa powder over the cake. Then you take the chocolate and put it over a beautiful platter. It'd be nice to add some raspberry. Then take some raspberry sauce and you put all around the cake. The chocolate leaves that we made earlier. Be careful when you remove it. Just for finishing touch, some raspberry.